This is the ProLight Orion 300 Full Spectrum, which you may have seen before because it's one of the most interesting lights to hit the market in the last year, as it hits the gap between professional quality and budget price. But this has something no one seems to be talking about. It's paving a way for how we are going to light from here on out. This light feels solid. I'm not the biggest fan of having ballast not attached to heads because it's just more to manage on set, but it does make it easy to rig in the air because it's literally half of the weight without the ballast. And they give you a 5-meter head cable, which will get you out of most situations, with an optional 10-meter cable you can buy. The ballast accepts DMX in and out and Ethernet in via ArtNet. You can connect blackout to the Orion 300 through Ethernet or DMX. Connect a DMX cable from your gateway, or through a wireless receiver such as the Lumen Radio Moonlight, which you can even charge or power through the USB port on the ballast. Or connect this to your lighting network through Ethernet. Just make sure you are sending it ArtNet from blackout, double check that your ArtNet settings in the ProLight network menu are matching, and you're good to go. What you may have heard about this light is that it has great color rendition because it's a full spectrum light with its red, green, blue, amber, cyan, and lime diodes compared to most LEDs on the market, which are just RGB or RGBW. And that's true. There's tons of videos you can check out on this light talking about this feature, some of which I'll link below. The 6 diodes give the light the ability to produce essentially a full spectrum of color, which can help in matching different sources and giving you the best color accuracy. But what interests me most about this light is the sheer versatility it offers. For years, we lit films with tungsten Fresnel units, HMIs with reflectors, paper lanterns, and KinoFlow banks until the soft panel came along and totally reimagined film set lighting. Now, it seems like you can't even shoot a movie without a soft light panel such as the ARRI Sky panel, but there's a big push toward wanting old school hard lighting in an LED. And ProLight is one of the first to bring it all together in something professionals are looking for. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been some hard light LEDs introduced in recent years that are great, like the Felix Q color line, which are nice Fresnel units. And of course, ARRI has their new Orbiter, which seems like it could have been a huge hit had it just been brighter, or maybe smaller, or with more attachments that people actually want. Something that it seems like ProLight has done with the Orion 300 FS. ProLight has taken what Aputure and Godox have popularized, the Bowens mount monolight style lighting fixture, and merged it with a full spectrum diode array with all the accessories you need. Want this to be a nice key light? Use their softbox or grab any off the shelf that have a Bowens mount. Want this to be an edge? Put on the standard reflector. What about throwing a nice pattern on a wall or across a face? Use the projection attachment. Make this into a walk and talk lantern that's battery powered, or get the most output with their Fresnel attachment where you can spot it in. ProLight recently announced a partnership with Datolight, so I'm interested to see what else they have in mind, but that's already a lot of attachments that totally transform this light. Coming from the professional film world, when I started seeing monolight style fixtures like these enter the indie productions, I kind of wrote them off because a lot of them just had so many issues it wasn't even worth dealing with. They just seemed so hacky, like Home Depot fixtures for film sets. And don't get me wrong, they have their place in time, but now that ProLight took the time to build a bright light with a solid color engine in a robust housing, we have a very interesting product and one that I think the professional film market should be looking at with keen eyes. If I were an up-and-coming gaffer looking to build out my lighting kit, I might think about investing in a couple of these for the sheer versatility of what they could offer for so many situations. A couple of these and some LED tubes could go a long way in the indie world. Obviously, this light isn't without its downsides, but there's not many. It doesn't have SACN right now, and that would be ideal for most professional lighting networks, but I hear it's coming in a future update. It also doesn't have built-in CRMX, which could be a nice feature for a lot of users these days, but that would up the price. The biggest thing I would like to see in the next version is for this to be IP65 rated, which I know is hard to do, but for such a versatile light that has claims to compete with decent sized HMIs, this is kind of an essential feature for film sets hoping to use this outdoors. The last, and this is really a criticism of the Bowens mount system and not necessarily of the fixture, is that the Bowens mount is really from the flash photography market and only became popularized for the film market thanks to Aperture and Godox. So it's not up to film standards. What do I mean by that? For one, it's not a secure lock. It has wiggle room, which means it's not going to be able to line up critically optical elements super well. And although there are a ton of third-party Bowens mount accessories, it doesn't mean you should get them to use across different fixtures, as the manufacturer will probably make the best fit accessories for their light. The Bowens mount also isn't smart, meaning there isn't room for passing power or data to an accessory, which could really up the game like a motorized zoom Fresnel. And that might be the biggest advantage the Orbiter has. You're just gonna pay 3 times the price of the Orion. And when you're deciding between 1 light and 3, especially if the 3 lights are more powerful, it's kind of a no-brainer. But beyond that, if you can deal with the inefficiency of the Bowens mount system not utilizing the full beam of the light for each accessory, which to be honest, there are so many inefficiencies in everyday lighting that this could not even be a big deal to most users, it makes the light quite versatile, which is why I think this light is pushing the boundaries for how we are going to see fixtures headed in years to come. If it's not this light, it's something very much like this. Instead of having a unique light for each application, you have one light with many applications. The ProLight Orion 300 FS makes an interesting push for a versatile unit that may just be the answer to a lot of film sets. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more. Tell me in the comments what you think. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.